Hello, everybody. Sean Higgs coming at you here for the Winner Circle YouTube channel. It's the Friday live. No more football Friday because it's football's over. It's just a Friday free for all. It's a free for all because I don't know who's going to show here. Maybe Chip shows up. Who knows? I don't know. Could be anybody on the site. You know I'm going to be here. We're on what, the third live of the day for me. You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me. I'm out of control. Like, share, notification bell on so you know each and every day. We come in here with the free picks here on the Winner Circle YouTube. NBA, college basketball. NBA, we went 2-1 last night with the free picks. Kyle Hunter joined the show with Doug Upson myself. 29-34 with NBA free picks here. We got to get those on track. We do have a leaderboard, though, for our premium stuff at gamblersworld.net, where you can see all of our top plays there. Chip Chirimbes having a great NBA season. College basketball, though, 31-21. We are pretty good in the college hoops land here on the free picks, and why not? I'm leading the way there in the college hoop money. Brian Biller doing pretty well there. Chip Chirimbes again in the hoops, controlling the basket. He's been doing well. Gamblersworld.net for the premium stuff. Winner Circle YouTube for our daily free picks and live shows. Right now, though, flash sale, 10% off any capper on the whole site. Go get it. That could be a daily pick. That could be a 3-day pass. Maybe the $69.99. Maybe it's the $2.99 college hoops deal. Go get it. Support the channel. The least you can do is hit the like button. That's number one. That is free to do. Costs you nothing. Liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Keeps it going. You want to support the cappers? Make a little money? We got promo codes. We got cheap deals. We save you money and we make money all at the same time. Twitter at gamblers_world. Come give it a follow. And we're ready to rock here on it's a light Friday. Not much going on in college hoops, right? Small little card. We got the Ivy. We got some AA MAC action. A couple bigger schools going on. NBA's, all right. It's the NBA. We got teams in back-to-back spots. We're going to talk about some games. We'll bring Chip in here. He's going to be joining the show in a second. And then we'll talk some of these games. We'll hit some comments, maybe some of tomorrow's bigger games. ASUN tournament starts on Sunday. I'll touch on that because here we go. There's the March Madness package for you. $2.99 all the way through the championship game. We got a couple comments and then Stop Geo. Didn't I just see Stop Geo? He's back again. Austin Reeves smash spot today for Luka and LeBron around. And then we'll I think Chip. I don't know if Chip's ready in the back there. Say give him a minute. Because he's our NBA guru. And you look at this line, this was a 1.5. Hey, Chip.
How you doing, Sean?
This Laker line here, Gio brings it up here for a player prop. The Clippers, I think, were plus 1.5 last night. Now they're a 4-point fave. As he mentions, Luka LeBron playing in a back-to-back spot. I don't know. I mean, NBA's treating you pretty good this year. Or I should say you're abusing the NBA. It's not treating you good.
Well,
you are abusing it like you should and taking its money. What do you think about any thoughts on this Clipper-Laker game?
Yeah, I actually I used it. I wrote it up last night, and I had my side no matter what the number was. So you can log on and get that one for me. But I think the number is an indication of what's going on out there. There's no way the Clippers are supposed to be favored in this game, in this situation. And
Yep.
So it's sort of like I think you're taking the Lakers. You're at your own peril. I mean, all we're doing is hearing about LeBron and Doncic, and everyone else is coming along too on that team. Reeves is starting to play. These guys are getting open shots and they're hitting them. So this has opened up a lot more opportunities for other players, even though you would expect LeBron and Doncic to dominate the ball.
Last night with the Lakers, they were a 6.5-point favorite. Jumped out to a big 20-point lead. Of course, it's the NBA. Everybody goes on a run. It's a 3-point lead with like 5 minutes to go. Lakers, I don't say they're on the ropes because it's the NBA and teams choke away leads and stuff like that all the time. But
was that the Mavericks game?
No, that was the Minnesota T-Wolves game. And then what's his name?
That's right, T-Wolves. They won the game outright, didn't they?
No, Lakers won by 10.
They did.
Yeah,
when I heard the score early, I thought I heard Minnesota up, and I didn't check that final because I had
Lakers
other interest.
Lakers were up big, 55-30 or something, and then it was 93-90, and I think Richardson got, Anthony got thrown out of the game. He kicked the ball. He's out tonight, which is why they're a 2-point favorite in the Jazz. He's suspended.
Well, I I split last night. I liked, and I really liked Orlando. They blew a 17-point lead from the third quarter on as Stephon Curry just went absolutely bananas. And I mean, is this guy not the best shooter you've ever seen? He's the best I've ever seen, and there are a lot of great ones out there. When Curry's on, there's when he hit the ball, when he hit the 75-foot shot or a shot before the half, it just went swish. It didn't hit up the backboard. It just bang, and so they beat me. They came from behind, and I fell short by a bucket. But I had Milwaukee. That was an outright winner, and I have a 3-pack out there on Friday with the best bet. And there are actually, I think, a couple other plays out there as well. I like my free play that I posted. I can give you that right now, but I'd rather have you log on and get it. And but you know what, Gamblers World, the free plays are in a different situation. So the game I was looking at, Sean, was Toronto. I mean, Chicago has been pretty impressive with big game wins, and now they came up. It was either 1.5 either way, and it caught my eye. I said, I think this Toronto's been playing better. Those players they got from the Knicks are starting to get healthy, and so I use them as a free play. The Raptors.
I'm going to backtrack here with the Warriors. Butler's got there. They look pretty good for a bunch of old guys. They look like they got a little one-half straw. They look like their little last straw looks a lot better than the Suns with Durant and Beal and Booker going. Even though Booker's a young guy.
Did you think, that Butler would have this kind of impact? I didn't. They're 6-1, I think, with him or something close to that.
I don't know. He's a great player. People know about him as a Hall of Fame guy. I don't know about that. He's the Hall of Fame.
His offensive. He had offensive liabilities. He only had 6 points. He was 1 for 7 in the last time out.
For whatever reason, they're winning. Again, you make trades. We talk about this, like the old change of an environment for a certain guy, and the kind of teams get little bumps. Like, listen, Wemby gets ruled out for the year. The Spurs win a game, and then they haven't won since. They haven't sniffed being competitive.
That's a bad situation. I've eliminated on or against that club for the rest of the season because
no coach. Your best.
We had a lot of great spots with Wembanyama. You could play with them with confidence. They beat Houston on the road. They won some games and they were coming along. It's sort of a sin for the league. It really is. It's a terrible thing to have happen that the guy's out. I mean, we've seen Joel Embiid perform, and when these guys went down, it's different. This kid's so young,
And you mentioned Toronto, not a good team. They have, they are who they are.
Yeah.
But they're going to be in like a pick'em spot versus a Bulls team who I think have all but packed it up. I mean, they had that win over again the Sixers, who didn't play anybody.
Right.
That process is all but a failed process there. But before that, they were just getting trucked out of games, almost as bad as Charlotte.
It doesn't look like they're taking steps moving forward. I mean, they got rid of Levine, and the interesting thing about him was he didn't even start at UCLA, and he was a first-round draft pick. So, because he could jump through the ceiling. He was just an incredible leaper.
Well, that's what you see
that. Wait, did you see that dunk last night? Oh my goodness!
Oh, some kid. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. A nice little one-handed slam.
Yeah, his arm was like elbow over the rim easily. We
talked about Lakers and Clippers in a back-to-back. Denver's in another one here. They were 1 point fave. Now they're like a 2-point dog here, whatever, to the Pistons. And the Pistons are, it's a good spot for them. They're waiting. They're off the Celtics win. They've won 3-4 in a row. Denver's off the loss. Denver's favored. No, Denver's not favored right now. That's right.
I had Detroit against Boston, and which is kind of made up for me getting beat with them the game before. But my instinct here is that is Detroit due to fall? I mean, aren't they? But it's always we're still waiting for potential. I'm still waiting for Dallas Strawberry to hit 40 home runs in one season. You got to go out and do it. But the Denver I thought Denver would bounce back here. And I'm just afraid to play against Detroit. I didn't use the game because Detroit, who wants to get in front of that buzzsaw? Are you kidding right now? Them in Portland are just outrageous.
The Denver team, they had won 9-10 before they just lost.
Right, but they hadn't played anybody, right? I mean, I think you've mentioned that. They played New Orleans twice, and
So they're off the loss. See, I don't, back-to-back's off the loss. I'm not really looking because I could see guys less games. And the game was kind of close till it got out of hand. So it's not like the guys played 17 minutes last night. Like their players played, and Detroit's just sitting kind of waiting. I'd lean in that spot there. And the last one here for the NBA as a good matchup is Cleveland and Boston. Cleveland, we know that's Doug's team. He's on Cleveland since the opening show we did back in November here. I like Cleveland too. I think Cleveland is the best team. Or again, if I'm picking a team to come out East, it's Cleveland, then Boston, probably Milwaukee, and everybody else. But I like Cleveland in this spot. Again, Boston's in the back-to-back spot themselves. They sat their guy the other day. Cleveland's had a nice little run, couple days off. We talked about it on Monday. Monday show, we're like, hey, they got this game here against the Magic, and then they're off till the Friday. Boston, they're sitting around kind of licking their chops. I kind of like them here as a small dog.
It was my first instinct, without a doubt. The way Cleveland's playing, and I said, they're going to go in there and they're going to beat them. But Sean, the way the people have reacted to that number, which I thought was kind of short for Boston. We're talking about the world champs at home, right? And a 3-pointer, and they could cover. What do you have for a number right now in the game, Sean?
Right now we're staring at a +2.
So Boston is 2?
Boston is laying 2 here.
Yeah, well, and I've seen that the trend and the people's response to this game has to take Cleveland. And so I've gravitated away from the game. I passed on it. Originally, I thought I would have the Cavaliers, but I just didn't like the kind of action I saw. I thought with that number being the way it is, I'd see more Boston action, and we're not. We're seeing it's coming on the Cavaliers, and it'd be just like the Celtics to rear themselves up and try to tell Cleveland, hey, we're still number one. I don't care what your record is. But it's a really tough game, and I'll tell you, that's a game worth watching. It really is.
I want to say over. Like, again, I didn't bet Cleveland today, but, if you're asking me, I'd say Cleveland. Probably an over, though, because the Celtics, like you said, they can come in here and launch up 47 3-pointers and at home hit 27 of them or something. It's just some ridiculous nonsense.
They're shooting almost the same percentage of 3-pointers as they are from mid-range shots, which are worth 2 points. So, if you only have to make 1 out of 3 to come out to the same as making 1 out of 2 from the 2-point range. So, the 3-point shot has definitely turned the game, changed the game completely, and I still wish Curry had at least caught a cold in the fourth quarter yesterday. It's unbelievable.
We have one kind of decent basketball game today. A lot of smaller stuff going on, right? So college basketball, I got a game up there. Gamblers Row. Do want to go get my college hoops? Having a good season. But again, when it comes to the marquee stuff, a lot of people don't like these smaller conferences here.
Well, I don't. Yeah. But so I don't mind. I might have one play or even 2 out there today. I'm going to do it after we get off the air. But I have a big one tomorrow. I told you last week I had a game of the year with Arkansas and Missouri, and Arkansas won outright as an underdog at home. And I have more of the same for you this week on Saturday, another game of the year. We're 2-0 on the season. Sean, we waited 3 months for our second one, and it came through for me in fine fashion. Razorbacks.
A lot of marquee games tomorrow, so I'm sure it's right up your alley. It's right up your alley for all those kind of games. You got a bunch of. We'll talk about them in a second. We'll talk about a couple, and then you can steer away from whatever you're kind of looking at. But we got Purdue UCLA tonight. It's kind of the only big kind of school going on. I know Northwestern's playing, but this is a big one here. Purdue's, dropped 4 in a row. Again, you lose 3 on the road, though. You lose to Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana. I'm not even hating losing Indiana on the road because you're off of Michigan.
Yeah.
You lost to Wisconsin home. You lost to Michigan State. I could see you're in a little bit of a funk. I get it. You lose there. Now you're home versus UCLA. And if there ever's there's not must wins, but this is a game you kind of have to have, right? You don't want to lose this one. UCLA's 4-4 on the road. They lost at Illinois. They won here at Indiana. East Coast got them. They went to Maryland. That wasn't a good fit for them.
What did the Bruins do last time out?
They beat Ohio State 69-61.
They covered, right?
Yeah,
I think it looks kind of inviting to take UCLA here after the way Purdue's been going. And this is the first time I'm really thinking about the game, to tell you the truth, Sean. And I like this Bruin team because they play defense. And if they can make their shots, they're going to give anybody trouble. And they're good getting points. Wow, Purdue can lose 5 in a row. Do you think that's possible? I mean, this team was ranked number 4 at one time in the country, weren't they? I mean,
that's the thing. Like you say, well, listen, teams lose 5 in a row. We know that can happen. 5.5, though. I'd almost just on principle say I got to take UCLA because they haven't played. Purdue's not playing well. Like, how are you
Yeah,
laying 5
no,
points
that's what I'm
on
saying.
that?
It looks like UCLA is supposed to be the side as far as, it looks inviting, taking the points and the way Purdue is playing. And when are they going to bounce back? I mean, we saw Alabama get shellacked twice in a row, and then all of a sudden they came and they laid a huge number against Kentucky, 11 and a half. They won by 13, I think, or 12 at least. But
So
it's hard. It's hard to have confidence playing a team like Purdue here because it's very much like them to win the game and not get over the number.
Nate says, is there a spot to put your foot down? It's Purdue money line today, he says. He's like, this is a spot they got to win a game. Just do it.
Well, how
get
much
it
would
done.
you be laying on the money line on this game?
I mean, come on.
In baseball, I don't lay over $1.30, 35 in around there.
Yeah, I usually draw a line at like $1.42. I don't want to be laying stuff, but you're laying 240 here.
That's It isn't like they can't get beat. They've already lost 4 in a row, right? That's tough action.
He's laying 215. He's found a 215.
Oh, that's okay. Even so, it's a big number.
It's still 2-1.
I hate doing that because you get beat. It takes 3 games to get back in front.
Yeah. I mean, do I hate it? Just from the sense that I don't like betting faves.
You know what? So I said they could win and not cover, and this guy would be
exactly. Well, that's the thing. You see a lot of these games. We saw last night Michigan and Rutgers, 80. Hit 3-pointer at the buzzer, 84-83. Like, would you be shocked that this is like a 74-70 game and you cover and Purdue gets a win?
Maybe. What's the total on it, Sean?
144.5.
That's
138.
That's a number with UCLA.
138. No. 138.5. 138.
All right. Even so, you're talking about a 70-68 game, and with UCLA, I think that's a high-scoring game.
He says, "I don't care what the line is, as long as they win. He doesn't care what the line is."
Right? Why should he? If he's laying the money line, he's fine, unless he's just rooting as a fan. But a lot of people were in this, Sean, for recreational and entertainment than actually hardcore trying to make some serious money. I think you come at it more of an entertainment aspect, and I'm trying to narrow it down to let's just make a couple of big plays out there. So, but you know what? You're sitting there winning like that percentage is you're holding that is like incredible to me. It really is. That's to hold that is pretty good. I mean, I'm thinking about how much time and effort do you put in. It's coming up because you're very knowledgeable on all this stuff, Sean. So you have to know what's going on. And I'm saying, how does he keep up with it? There's just so many games out there. I'm just trying to manage the Big 5 conferences.
Yeah, but the big so this game here, UCLA, I got it. I got under 140.5. It's on the site. I bet it. It's 138.5 now.
Well, I think it's hard for that game to go over the way UCLA plays defense, and if you combine that with the way they shoot at times as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
A tough spot on the road. Purdue's not that they're going to choke, but they're going to maybe get tight. I'm thinking it's a low-scoring game.
How's that Eddie doing in the NBA? Who's he playing with? Memphis or someone like that?
Yeah, I don't even know who he's on.
Orlando, Memphis.
The only kid I know in college basketball is Cooper Flagg. That's the only guy I know in this year's college basketball.
Well,
So when you talk about for my games, shit, it's not. It's the number. It's just about the numbers for me. I'm not looking at the big school. You're
playing it off the line and the records. You're playing off the line that you presented and their records and comparing them. And
so early on, I'm looking at who I got returning. I want to see who's returning starters.
Okay.
My kind of I like senior guard plays, and this is all for early November, December kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm going to have tournaments, wacky travel, just weird spots. So I kind of want an experienced team, and I'm going to get that off more mid-majors than I am on the.
Sean, this is an incredible amount of information that you're seeking on all these games. I mean, to follow up, travel and all this other stuff. It's
but again, it's
comprehensive. I mean, how much work are you doing?
Well, early on, what I'm doing. I'm printing out all the tournaments. Right, I know the tournaments before in October they'll come out. So I have a printout. I mean. I'm already printing out the A-Sun tournament for Sunday I have in front of me, so I'll print these all out ahead of time. So I'll have my tournament matchups. I'm like, okay, who am I looking at? You have your power ratings on what teams you think are going to be good. You buy your little magazines like, okay, these guys don't kind of have them here. because I don't
It
know
takes,
who's in front.
Sean, it takes so much time. I mean, how
Yes,
much
but what
time
else
are
we
you
got
putting?
going on?
Your poor kids haven't seen you. They're trying
Yeah,
to
but
recognize dad.
it's football season. So again, NFL and college football. My games are bet on Sunday or Monday for NFL next week, and my college games are done on Wednesday for Saturday or even
No
Tuesdays.
kidding.
So I'm just at that point. There's time to do stuff. I'm not game of. And now when
Yeah.
it comes when the calendar flips, I kind of change my ways, right? Because now we're in conference play. So the entire month of February, I've just been taking crazy dogs. Now, yesterday was a bad day. I had two 1/2-point losers, a 1-point loser, a 2-point loser, and a 1-point loser. I mean, I went 1-6. That's a rough one to swallow when they're all close games. But I'm taking plus 8.5. They lose by 9. Plus 7.5, team loses by 8. Plus 12, they lose by 14. I mean, like, you got to be kidding me. But I was running down these little stats too, and Chip you and Doug the other day, right? I'm like, all right, these are kind of what I like in these kind of situations. That's what I've been betting all month. All these kind of dogs. I have my ratings where I think the line should be around when it's opening up.
Right.
What it
Now,
comes
do you
out
make
at.
you make your own power ratings, or
I'll combine them with others. Like, I think it's not a power rating. I suppose I think, okay, I think this line is going to be like a 4 or a 6.
Right.
And then you bring up your Bartovic, your Haslams, your Kempom numbers, right? I'll have all those. And I'm like, okay, here's the line that they're coming out with. And I think it's going to be 4, and it's a pick. It's 7, it's 4. And then I'll work from there. But these are strictly just kind of based on the conference play. And I have 2 teams in wherever. We're talking Sun Belt or Double A MAC. All right. One team is 10-8. The other is 6-10. And they're a 9-point favorite or whatever. I don't even know what they are today. I'm just throwing out these numbers. Is that team that much better? I was talking with Kyle Hunter. I was with Kyle Hunter the other day on talking to him about it, and I said, "Where's the big? This isn't the ACC or Big 10 or Big 12 or some conference where it's South Carolina's terrible. You have an NBA guy on a team where there's kind of drastic kind of stuff. The Sun Belt, the Southland, the SoCon, the Big South, NEC. There's no NBA type player in these kind of things. There's no talented guy that's going to just swing. So if I have a team that's 10-4 and a team that's 6-10, is there that much difference? There's not. If a team's 4-7 on a road and they're 6-10 in conference, I'm throwing out their overall 17 losses because they go out and pick up $500,000 playing big schools, right? So you look at the conference play, they're all playing the same teams. They're all kind of same talent-wise. You might have a little better, some teams better than others, but the majority in the middle, they're all the same. They are interchangeable. And you're going to give me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points with teams that are 2 wins apart, which is some fluke. The kid could have been drunk the night before. This is mid-grade schools. I will take those.
He was up late.
I'm not even thinking. I'm going in like, okay, let's look at a conference records here. Boom, here's the line. It's 5. Well, it should be 7. It's close enough. Now I'm not doing 36. I'm not doing 24 games. Yeah. I'm not down to the 8 spot. Like I want to try to keep it between like 5 and 8, maybe 10, depending. But like after last night, I'm not going to run out and put 15 games out tomorrow. Yeah. No, I can't. Because the lines are kind of moving a little bit, like where they used to be at one number. Now all of a sudden they're getting kind of shaded down a little bit. Whether that's just based on the numbers coming out or whatever the case may be, I always seem to be like a point behind. Where I'm like, wait a second, why is everything like a point off? Like maybe it's me, maybe I'm a point off. Whatever the case may be, everything seems to be a point off somewhere where it should be, or a 1.5. But it is what it is. Work-wise, I kind of less is more for me. There's games I'm not even going to look at. We're going to talk about these big schools. AP teams tomorrow, right? We got Auburn playing tomorrow. Yep. Right? You got big matchups here. Auburn, Kentucky. All right, I get it. Is that going to be sharp at Auburn minus 5.5 at Kentucky? I mean, I would just say Auburn because Kentucky to me, kind of like Kansas, against Texas Tech, they're laying 3.5 to Texas Tech. I don't want to lay points with Kansas. Now, pardon me saying I have to take Kansas, but I have to take Kansas because I see 3.5 as opposed to the game should be probably a pick 'em because this is not a classic Kansas team.
No, not at all. I mean, they're 2 games behind Texas Tech in overall record, And
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing because there were a couple of times. I mean, they got waylaid a few games. I mean, just totally blown out, and that's not characteristic
They
of
got
a
like 6
Jayhawks team.
losses on the road, Chip. They're not a.
No,
So this is a prime example for me. I got the numbers coming out here. Now, Kansas minus 3.5. That should be an autoplay. Why the
three
hell
and
are
a
they
half.
doing that?
You say Kansas
3.5.
minus 3.5?
Yes. Yep. So that should be like an autoplay for me. Normally, if I'm going to put out 29 games on a Saturday, I'm betting that game because why are they favored? They shouldn't be favored. To me, that's a pick 'em, and I'm getting extra points with a good team.
And I think Texas Tech beat them already. Haven't they beaten them? Hold on
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah, sure.
I'm back. Down, Fido. Down.
Okay. I was.
So, no, I went because I got some notes on this. I just didn't have it in my hands. What's the Tennessee Alabama number?
Tennessee's 3.5. Again, you're going to give me 3.5 points with a team that loses scoring 95 points.
Wow.
It would be like an auto, right? I'm automatically drawn to, like, my head says to take the home teams here because of what the lines are, right?
They're 14-1 at home, the Volunteers, and
they're a good team, but you're also looking at an Alabama team. Wow, you're going to give me a team that scores 95 points a game. You're going to give me points versus Tennessee, who I've seen score 50 in a game.
But they gave up 110 to Missouri, and so you can be scoring, but sometimes you got to stop the other guy.
Exactly.
And I think Tennessee's won the last 3 meetings, Sean, and 6 of 7. Or they've won 6 of their last 7. But
so these kind of games, I would take Kansas. I would take Tennessee. Auburn again. I think Auburn's really good. So that
I do too.
I could see laying that. I know you want to, like, the thought process is we're taking a home dog. We're getting 5.5 points. We're getting a couple baskets. It would be Auburn or nothing for me there. Or if I didn't take Auburn,
Alabama. They went into Alabama and they showed me and the nation, I think, who they are.
Exactly. So it's tough to. If I wouldn't get fancy, I'd say, you know what? Maybe I'd say just take Kentucky money line because if either Kentucky wins or they're getting run or they're losing by 10, it's not going to be the spread won't come into play.
Yeah, and as a dog, you get something back. It's always not a fair shake, but you get a shot.
Yeah. Another big one, we got Iowa State and Arizona. So Iowa State lost at Arizona in overtime last time. They are I think a 5.5 point favorite here in this one.
What? And isn't Iowa State going off the rails? The Cyclones didn't get crushed the last couple of games? Or
they lost their last game on the road as 11-point favorites. I think they lost by double digits outright. So they've lost their last couple on the road. Again, you lose at Houston. I'm not going to be mad team loses at Houston, but
are they hurt? Are they banged up? Because I think against Houston
they were missing guys against Houston. That's why the line was 11 or 12.
Yeah,
and
I know I gave Houston out, and they came from behind and almost closed it out, but they didn't have enough. They had enough to cover.
Nola says, appreciate helpful insight you guys provide in certain criteria in the game team line. What you look for, high turnover teams, look to you over any other tendencies. Yeah, so that's kind of thing. Like there's, I don't know, Nola, maybe simply more. You could jump into like the turnovers and your pace and all this kind of tempo.
Oh,
and it's winning strategies, right, Chip? I mean, this.
Listen, any way you can extradite a winner out of this, I don't begrudge it at all. And totals, even you guys drive me crazy sometimes. I know Doug does like halftime bets or things like that, and I'm looking for the whole product at once because you've seen teams go down 20 points and win the game at after halftime. So. Which team's going to get off quick, I think is more difficult than which team's going to end up on the right side when the score is final. So,
but today's day and age, though, man, these kids love
the
first half kind of stuff. Easier, but you think a team's going to, like we say this, you lose, you want to start out fast and get out to a good start. Well, a first quarter or first half bet probably pays off better than. Then you don't have to worry about the whole game if there's a late run to get close to the thing.
Well, I think the people that are doing that are betting smaller amounts, and they want the instant gratification, of course, and they're probably doing in-game betting as it is, because if you're going to play the first quarter, don't you want to accumulate that money and then use it and maybe for the second half or second? So I don't think their amounts that they're betting are as big as, say, the A play, where I want you to concentrate on one game.
Yeah. And that's it. Like you said before, like I'm spreading out, like smaller sizes. You know,
These in-game players, I mean, they got to be
I
frying
can't
their
do it.
brains out. How do you stay on that? I mean, there's so many different games going on at the same time, and you're getting the scores. And I mean, there's a radio show out here in Las Vegas, the Circle runs, and it's great. It's during the in-game, and they're sitting there commenting on the line. Do you take this? I would make a move here, and it's pretty interesting. But I'll tell you, I don't know if I know some people in my former life that would love this, but betting the props and having all those individual opportunities would be just too much. It's too overwhelming.
I'm not an in-gamer. Not even during
Yeah.
like Super Bowl. I'm not watching a game.
Yeah.
I'm 7:00. Like I'm gonna finish up here. I gotta do a couple things because I got my daughter's birthday party or birthday. She's got some friends coming over for her birthday. I got to run around. I'm gonna print out the rotation, and I think I already do. It's like 2 pages long. There's 145 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at 4:30, I'm into the games, and that's it. I'm not worrying about tomorrow. Like I gotta get back. Oh, this game lost early. I gotta listen. It is what it is. I can't. You and I said this with you guys. I say it all the time on my show. The in-gaming stuff, people just think you're already wired into a team. You like so and so to win. Oh, they're down. I'm going to take these plus points. You're doubling, tripling up your average bet. You don't even realize it's going up. By the time you the dust clears, you're like, what did I just do here? Maybe you win. Maybe you get lucky and you bail yourself out and you come out plus. Most times you're probably just breaking even because you're getting bad numbers left over right and you keep betting and hand over. It's the worst. It's the worst for people. And I don't care if they're betting $1 or $5. I mean, if you're working, you go to work every day and you come home, you want to live bet some kind of game in in-game action, and then it's not even out of your pocket. You walk into a casino and start handing cash out of your pocket, totally different feeling than hitting buttons on a screen. It's a totally different feeling.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Off a credit card.
You're absolutely right. I tried to bet cash out here.
That's the way I am. Do we lose viewers when you say that? Maybe. Whatever. We're not telling you to do stuff like that. And that's especially, listen, Super Bowl, you want to have some fun, do a couple things. I get it. But my bigger bet on that day is going to be on my side or total or maybe a prop that day or something because it's just a standalone. How do you get into those things nonstop? And then in-gaming live props for players like, over points. Holy cow.
I always think
I don't got the time for that, Chip.
Sean, I always think no matter what the number is that you're betting it at, that the house is catching an edge somewhere. I mean, you may be laying $1.30 or something on those because those prop bets, they're not laying $1.10 for the most part. They've got a 20-cent line or even more between them.
Yep. You could be laying 160s, and then on the flip side, you're going to be taking plus 140s because they're wacky numbers.
You'd be taking even less, on the props.
That's why they're fun props. They're called fun props for a reason.
Yeah.
Gavin, any sleeper teams make a deep run? So I'll let you go first here, Chip. What do you think? Any college basketball team you think that's not Duke or Auburn or Alabama? You think?
I would think defense first, in the tournament because everything seems to tighten up and guys the way they shoot. So that would make me think a little bit of Tennessee. I mean, not Tennessee, excuse me, Texas Tech, who we probably think might be in a little bit of trouble tonight. But we're talking about dark horses here. I think that Duke and Auburn are in a class by themselves, and then we have Alabama and a few other also Rams out there. But it's going to, Florida may be imposing too as well. But
I do have a Florida. Go ahead.
No, it's hard for me to see anybody coming out of the pack because I think that Auburn and Duke have really separated themselves, and Florida.
I have a Florida future, and I think at 10-1 somewhere.
Well, that's because you're a Miami guy.
And hold on, that's not Florida though. That's totally different. And I took a Gonzaga one when they beat Baylor. I'm like, man, these guys are going to be good. Yeah, okay. They're still somehow ranked in the top 10 in KenPom, but we'll see. I'm not really fond of that one. Yeah. But again, you have Auburn and Duke, and then is Houston good? Florida, you got your Tennessees like Texas Tech's. But I think if I'm going to go down the line with a team I think could get to a Elite Eight or a Final Four, like St. John's, you got to put St. John's in there.
I didn't have them in my head, and I should have, but Pitino's a great coach. There's no question, but they have to make their shots. They have to make
their free throw shooting is atrocious. That's what's going to cost them.
And and free throws are so important in these games. You come down there and the pressure's on. I mean, if they're only making 55% during the regular season, what are they going to make in the playoffs? Or the tournament, shall I say?
And a pair of teams out of the Big Ten, Maryland and Wisconsin. I mean, Maryland. I saw them the other day. I'm like, what the heck? Where did this team come from? So
Wisconsin's got the size.
Gavin, this isn't for will they win a championship, Wisconsin or Maryland or St. John's. But if you're looking to get a team that maybe go to Sweet 16, you can find odds on a little further. We could come in here and say whoever, Missouri, or Alabama's like, and you're going to get all those from every other channel. But you want to dig a little deep to who's going to go a run. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if UCLA makes a Sweet 16 kind of run or a Final 8 run. Like, that's where I'm going to look. I'm not going to look for a championship because I think the two best teams are the two best teams will probably be in the Final Four. After that, I think it's a roll of dice. Who's going to be hot? Remember, you're going to have
and I
only
still
one of
think
those SEC teams, Chip. You have what? Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama. They're all Missouri. They're all like top 10 KenPom teams. Only one of them is going to be coming in on a winning streak, right?
Yeah.
Only one of them is going to win. Good.
I think Houston has a shot because of their defense.
Yeah.
I mentioned defense first, so because I'm thinking of this off the top of my head.
But also, Houston's got to get through Texas Tech. I mean, you got Kansas again. Kansas is still lurking out there. It's Kansas, but
I'm pretty sure Connecticut's not going to three-peat.
Yeah, they've.
They're going by the wayside with like the Chiefs.
If you get again, I do not have these numbers in front of me, so I have no idea what Final 8s and Final 4 and Sweet 16 numbers are. If you find some plus stuff, those are, I guess, worthwhile. Again, championship, it could be anybody. I mean, the two that I think are going to win, it's going to be Duke Auburn by the way the season has looked this year. Those would be the two I have in the championship. But will I be shocked if Florida gets there? No. Houston? No. I mean, and I think we'll probably draw the line there. But again, Elite 8 runs, Final 4 runs, I think we could find some value in some other teams. I don't know. Any other not really too many big ones tomorrow. Maryland, Penn State, Florida versus Texas A&M. I mean, it's a 10-point spread.
That could be interesting. I mean, here's an under team for you. A&M has only gone over 10 times the entire season. I think they're 10-18 to the under, and are failing to go over. And A&M, they could surprise you, but then again, I'm not sure if they have the depth to be able to get there. 8-loss teams are not too many of them, I think, make it to the Final Four.
I'm showing right now we got an 8.5 Florida, 8.5, 146.5.
I think the Aggies might be a look-see. I mean, I still have a lot of work to do before Saturday comes out, but I think that's a very strong number. Is Florida's coming off? Did they get beat by Georgia? That's right. They got beat by Georgia outright, so they may be in a bad mood coming into this one.
Yes, 7-point faves on the road. That was the Georgia spot, folks. Listen,
yeah, that was happy about that one.
We talk about things like that, like a team's got to be in a position to get a win for a tournament spot. Not that that means it's going to win, but you're going to get a valiant effort.
Right.
And Florida could easily have been like, all right, and they still, they lost by 5. It's no shame. Teams lose on the road, folks. Let's not be shocked at those kind of happenings there. As I said, Auburn is 4.5. Kansas is a 3.5 here, 143.5 total. Alabama, 3.5, 153.5.
Alabama's favorite or Tennessee's favorite?
Tennessee's favorite.
All right.
St. John's 22.5. Houston 15.5. Just some big numbers here. Here's an interesting one: Missouri and Vanderbilt. So Mizzou's having a nice little season, quietly, right? Nobody's really talking about Mizzou.
Not bad at all. And Vanderbilt has come up and bit some people in the butt as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick peek at this little matchup here. Missouri is ranked. Vanderbilt's 19-9. Here we go. Missouri 3-5 on the road. You lost at Arkansas. You beat Georgia. You lost to Tennessee. You beat Mississippi State. You lost to Texas. But I think you got that big Florida win in there. What kind of, makes you think that you got a shot here.
Right.
Big win at home here for you for Vandy. You beat Kentucky here. You beat Texas here. I would actually lean a little Vanderbilt here plus 2.5 at home.
The number is what? 2.5?
They're plus 2.5 at home.
Yeah, that looks like something I'm gonna have to look at myself.
Iowa State, we mentioned, a 4.5-point favorite. Maryland on the road, 4.5 over Penn State. Again, that might be a Penn State spot for me.
That seems kind of short. That
seems like a Penn State kind of spot for me there.
Is that at Penn State?
Yes, in Penn State. And again,
they just beat Minnesota. Penn State, is that who they beat?
They lost to Indiana. Before that, they won at Minnesota.
Okay.
They had to win in Nebraska at home. They're crushing Nebraska early. They won by 17.
Yep.
And Maryland's in off of the home loss last second. A 3-point shot there against.
Wow.
The way that ended.
Nothing but
net. Again, this is what I'm talking about, Chip. Maryland is 3-5 on the road, right? I mean, Penn State is 2-8, but the perception is that Maryland's a great team. Or 4.5. You want a team that's
home record?
Penn State at home is 11-5. I mean, not great. That's kind of poor actually when you think about teams that go 16-2 and 18-2.
All I have to do is win here.
Let's just cover. You get 4.5.
Yeah.
Can you stay within 4.5?
So 11-5 doesn't sound that bad. I mean, you might be able to keep another one close.
Maryland with Michigan on deck, by the way.
They could be caught in a look ahead.
Yeah, right. I mean,
the tournament start next week.
Tournaments start on Sunday, and I have a bracket right in front of me. I have it, I should say. And
Podunk, is Podunk playing?
We have the Atlantic Sun. We have a 9-10 matchup of Stetson and Central Arkansas, a 9-10 game. The Central Arkansas is actually here.
I'll put a hat on it. That's Stetson.
They have an opener here of Central Arkansas is a 1-point fave, no total here, over the Stetson team. And again, Stetson is home, by the way. This is home. It's on.
Is that in Texas? Where is that?
This game is played.
Where is Stetson located?
Oh, yeah, but it's not here. No, they're playing this game in Lipscomb because Lipscomb is the 1 seed. So they're playing on a Lipscomb court.
Where is Lipscomb?
I want to say that's in South Carolina or something. I don't even know where the hell Lipscomb is.
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
Where's Jim? Jim backstage will find that one for us.
When you start talking about these kind of teams, we always have to go to what are the school nicknames, because these are part of our trivia questions.
Well, Stetson, I think, are the Hatters.
Get out of town.
Yeah, they're the Hatters.
Then it's going to be in Tennessee.
We have Stetson. Do you think it's a cowboy hat? I think they're probably in Texas.
I know that's what I was referring to. But have someone write in or look it up.
Yeah,
and tell me
I don't think they're in Texas though, because everybody else is in Alabama and stuff like that.
Well, maybe Tennessee. Stetson, where would? Wow.
I'm gonna say it's Alabama. I don't know. Here we go. So this is a road game for both of these guys because it says here on my official ASUN bracket that they're playing in Lipsky. Central Arkansas 1-15 on the road. Stetson 3-11 on the road. And this is a neutral game here. And Central Arkansas, the Bears, by the way, are 1-point favorites as the 10th seed. And your next matchup, it's going to be being played in Northern Alabama. It's North Florida and Austin, PA. This is going to be an overgame. North Florida scores the Ospreys here. Let me tell you something. So again, we have the 7-8 game. The 8 seed is favored as well in this one here over the higher seed.
We have any like Earl Monroe's coming out of Winston-Salem or Larry Bird's out of Indiana State or anything like that?
Lipscomb is in Nashville.
You don't know any of the players, right? You're a numbers guy.
Stetson, private university in Delland, Florida, and Nashville, Tennessee. Lipscomb.
So I got one right, but for the wrong team.
Yeah. Stetson Hatters like Florida.
I transpose everything.
What kind of hat? They should be. If you're wearing a hat in Florida, shouldn't it be like a sun visor? Shouldn't it be like the Stetson sun visors or something?
Stetson, I should have known that.
We're gonna wrap this guy up here. All right,
buddy.
Chip, find Chip GamblersRoad.net. NBA #1. I think college hoops he's 2 or 3. I don't have it right in front of me. He's having a good college basketball season. Not too shabby. Again, A plays, Megabot plays. Chip volume a little less than mine. Roll out a 5-6 pack. Chip's gonna tell you hit one game, hit it hard. I'm gonna say spread it around and enjoy going 3 and 2 every day for a nice every single day and stack it up here. 2 different ways to go about things, but you know what? If you look at the site, hello, we're doing it. Both of us in the plus money. 10% off sale today at gamblersroad.net. You don't want to miss out on that. Good day for a 3-day package. Get a 3-day pass, guaranteed, show your profit, or we credit you back. You get today, Saturday, Sunday. Chip's going to have his ASUN game of the year, first round, 7-8 matchup game of your life you'll have up for.
No, forget that. We've got a big-time game matched up on Saturday.
Not interested. Yeah, well, I'll have those small schools for you folks. But for Chip, myself, good seeing you, Chip. I'll get you into those small schools one day.
All right, Shawnee.
Take it easy, bud.
Thanks. Take care.